What's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Does Boxing. This live stream, I want to recap this weekend's fights. Let's talk about what's next for these fighters and just touch bases on anything that's going on in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good little weekend of boxing. You had a 50-50 fight with Hooker and Ramirez going in. Tank, he had a hometown defense. Looked good in his defense. Tevin Farmer defended his title for the fourth time, and then much more. So we'll get into it. So I want to talk about the unification fight between Hooker and Ramirez. Man, it was a great fight, man, back and forth. Both guys was able to do uh, what I thought they was going to do in the fight. Uh, Maurice Hooker had a good jab. You know, he was trying to stay in long range, but um, like I thought before the fight, he would have trouble trying to, resist fighting in the pocket or turn this fight into a brawl. The first round, I scored it for Hooker, even though they ruled it a knockdown. It was a trip. I thought Hooker's jab was nice in that round. He was countering real good. Well, I like what Hooker was doing in this fight. Other than coming to fight like a true champion, his hook was nice. You know what I'm saying? He was hooking off the jab, and it's kind of hard to detect it because Hooker has a long jab and long arm, so it may look like a jab is coming out, but he was actually hooking off of it too, and it was catching Ramirez. But Ramirez, man, like I said, it was back and forth. He was doing this thing. He was showing some good angles to get inside. And when he had Hooker on the ropes, he was working the body and working up top, throwing a lot of combinations. This fight was ebb and flowing all the way up until the stoppage, which was a great stoppage, and it happened so quick. But I had Ramirez up 3 rounds to 2. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was a great fight. If this fight would have lasted the whole 12 rounds and continued, um, probably been fight of the year. It was a memorable fight for sure because, like I always say, when you have 50-50 fights and unifications and you have like the top guys in the division fight, you're going to have fights like that, man, because I didn't know who was going to win, man. It took me like last minute to make my pick. I picked Ramirez to win. I was thinking he was going to win a decision, a tight decision. But anything can happen, and that's what you want. You want a good fight. You want these guys to go at it and give it they all, 100%. Both of these guys, I thought they brought the A game. I mean, just considering what they have. I know Maurice Hooker had a lot of flaws coming to the fight, same as Ramirez. Ramirez couldn't get away from the jab or the right hand, and he was just kind of all willed Hooker in this fight, in my opinion. The way he adjusted, what I'm saying, in the sixth round to catch Hooker on the back foot with that left hook at the end of that left hook, that was nice. That got the ball rolling, and he just all his shots was down the middle to stop Hooker along the rope. So that was a great performance, man. Sean Icon was good, man. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for stopping by, bro. So it was a great performance, man. Hooker, I think he put on a good fight, man. I know the way he got stopped was crazy. He got stopped in his hometown, in front of his family, whatever. But I thought he performed okay. You know what I'm saying? No different than any of his other fights. And I believe before that, he started becoming to his own as a world champion. So what's next for Maurice Hooker, man? I don't know. Definitely he should take some time off. This was his fourth fight in like 16 months, so he's been active. So that's a good thing. So I know he probably made a little bit of that the zone money, so he can kick back and relax for a minute and just see what's next. Maybe he move up to 147. Maybe he regroup and stay at 140. I think eventually he's gonna have to go to 147. This a big guy. I think he's around 5'11", 6 foot. So I mean, it's natural fit for him. But definitely, I wouldn't even be mad at him if he take the rest of the year off and get himself together. But I give props to Maurice Hooker, man, because he's a dog. He came to fight. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go his way. He was respectful. You know what I'm saying, throughout the promotion and after the fight. So what I'm saying, I just hope everything's good with him and he come back stronger. Uh, on the flip side, you got Jose Ramirez now. He's in prime position to get the unification fight. Depending who win between Regis and Taylor. Undisputed fight, excuse me. I didn't see the fight, but it's definitely tough loss in fashion. Yeah, it was. He had moved to 147. Okay, yeah. What's up, St. Cruz? Yeah, he's a good fighter. Yeah, 147. It might be better for his body. You know what I'm saying? It's a catch 22 when you active. You know what I'm saying? And you struggle at the weight. Maybe he just outgrown the weight, but I think it was a good thing that he was active because I think if he wasn't, I don't think he could have made 140. So, yeah, 147 look like it should be in his future though, but he don't got nothing to hold his head down. He can't. He gave the fans what they wanted to see. He came to fight. He proved himself as a true world champion. So I respect that. Um, Jose Ramirez. So he's in position to fight for the undisputed title at 140. Like I said, Regis and Taylor, they scheduled. Well, they're not. Well, they projected the fight in October. It haven't nothing been official. So hopefully that comes across and we can get a unification fight. But in the meantime, while he wait for that to marinate or wait for that to finish their business, Regis and Taylor, then I think he gonna take a fight. He got a mandatory in the WBO. His name is Jack Catterall, southpaw from the UK, kind of slick boxer. Um, you know what I'm saying? He likes to slow down the pace. He's decent defensively. You know what I'm saying? He's got a good skill set. Um, so and we seen it in the Payda fight with Ramirez that he struggled with slick boxers. You know what I'm saying? He had some difficulties in that fight. And Catterall, he can bring that to the table. This fight will be easy to make since Catterall is with Frank Warren and Bob Arum and Top Rank and ESPN. So them guys working together. So that's the fight I see next. It might be back home in Fresno, where Jose Ramirez put in like 14, 15,000. So he's a star. You know what I'm saying? He got the fan base. You know what I'm saying? He's a humble young champion. He's hungry at that, and he put on a great performance. So it ain't he can only go up. What's good, Basayo Mexicano? What's good with you, bro? Thanks for stopping by. Well, I love the performance by Jose Ramirez. I think he's coming to his own as a world champion too, just like Hooker was. It was his night. I think he was a little bit more prepared for this fight than Hooker. Um, when you have a 50-50 fight, man, it's gonna come down to the small things, man, like pulling straight back with your hands down, with your head in the air, and this is how you can cut the distance. So shout out to him, man. That was a good performance. What's your thoughts on El Flaco? Yeah, I know. I seen him last night. He's a tough kid. He's strong, strong. What's up, Marlo's Corner? What's good? He's a strong kid, man. He's tough. I want to see him get tested though. Um, I want to see him get tested, man. I don't know if he can be able to get some competition with the promotion stable he fights at. I don't know. Maybe he can get on one of Triple G's undercard and fight up and coming of 154 pounder like Charles Conway, the Olympian. That's a good fight for him. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight. Or somebody that been through the wars. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a tough veteran, but he need to step up his competition though. But I like him though. Cola, yeah, that might be a good fight if Cola can make 54. That's something like that. Well, he made 54 against Charlo, so yeah, yeah. He need to do that. Yo, some crazy stuff just happened. Kovalev got kicked off a flight trying to kiss a girl or something. Y'all gonna read about that later. But I just seen that, so somebody else gonna make a video about that. But that's not my lane. But Kovalev just got kicked off the plane. This dude don't learn. But anyway, man, back to this boxing. So on the undercard, Tevin Farmer defending his world title against Gourmet Francois. You know what I'm saying? It was another typical Tevin Farmer fight. You know what I'm saying? I thought he dominated. I thought he was looking sharp in there. Nice defense. I like how he was paying some homage to Sweet Pea Whitaker with his head movement, with his hands down against the rope. That was nice. I like stuff like that. But I just think, to me, I think Tevin Farmer capped. I think that's the best Like what we seen last night, that's the best he gonna get. I don't know if he can go to another level and perform at a better. They can perform better. I don't know. I hope he can. He gonna have to if he's gonna fight the likes of Tank. We're gonna get. I'm gonna touch on that later too. But I think he kind of capped. He does the same thing. He got good skills. He got damn good skills. He can box when he want to. He throw a lot of punches. He can stay in the pocket and bang with you. He stayed there too long, in my opinion. I think he need to get in there and get out and pick his spots. But he's a good fighter, man. Don't get me wrong. Tevin is a good fighter, and I like him. I like his story. I like how he came back. I like how he, you know what I'm saying, got shot in the hand to his bicep in the same year and got robbed for the world title in 2017. Came back, picked himself up. He started off like 7-4 with one draw in his first 12 fights, and he's on a 23 fight win streak. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I appreciate Tevin for what he did. I thought the guy that he fought, he came to fight. He was just a little bit outgunned. Tevin was too slick for him. Does Beeman have any chance against Estrada in Mexico? Man, I don't know, man. I hope so. Actually, I'm rooting for him, man, because he going down there. I'm a root for him. That's a tough fight for him because Estrada is a damn boxing technician extraordinaire, bro. He's like the mini Juan Manuel Marquez, and he's a vet too. So it's nothing that he haven't seen. Maybe Beeman, maybe he can be a little bit athletic. When I think about this fight, I think about Tim Bradley versus Juan Manuel Marquez. It's gonna be a similar fight to that. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I think both guys, Beeman and Bradley, they kind of, muscular type of fighters, athletic. You know what I'm saying? Quick, can be able to beat. He can beat Estrada to the punch in some exchanges. I don't know, but I just think Estrada. I give him the edge right now because what he's shown in his past, and he's you can argue he a top 10 pound for pound fighter. So on the back end of top 10. So Estrada, I mean, it should be a good title defense for him. I want to see Tevin versus JoJo. Maybe I don't know. That's a good fight. That's a good fight though. I think JoJo gonna fight Cansedo next. I don't think that fight gonna happen, in my opinion. And reasons why, I mean, it can change. I just go off the stats and I go off what I see, and I do pay attention to the rankings. So as of right now, in the IBF, JoJo not ranked in the IBF, and he hasn't been ranked in the IBF for a minute. Well, I don't think ever. I think he's the WBO gold champion. So that right there tells me he's going down that route. Because if he wasn't, why would he take that belt? Why would he take that accolade? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see when the new rankings come out. The IBF rankings should come out next week sometime, the beginning of the month. It might come out. Actually, it might come out towards the end of this week. So we'll see. So if he jumps in the IBF rankings, then okay, now I will believe that it might happen. But just off of me, just my knowledge of boxing and whatever, and just seeing how the rankings go, I think he's gonna go down the WBA route. So I can see a rematch with Cancio probably on Canelo's card. Just throwing out a guess on Canelo's undercard. I believe they fought on one of Canelo's card the first fight, if I remember correctly. So they'll probably do it again. Um, Kovalev is right to be taken. Yar has a shot. Yeah, he has a shot at a KO, but I'm not believing that. I think Kovalev still beats him, St. Cruz. I think he outboxing him. I think he outboxing him. And to me, I think Yar is too flat-footed. Anything can happen. Yar can walk him down, beat him up, stop him. This, what I'm saying, he is an older fighter. That could happen, but I think he's gonna have problems with Kovalev's boxing. Remember, a lot of people forget this, man, because I know we don't like Kovalev. I got it. He just got kicked off the plane kissing a female or something. And then in February he had some other stuff hiding in the bushes. So we don't mess with him, and he's a racist. I got that part, but boxing wise, he was all boxing Andre Ward long stretches in both of their fights. Go back, they got him on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And when I watched it when it first came out, I made sure I paid attention. He was all boxing Andre Ward. He was keeping him at home with his jab. And if you can do that to Andre Ward, you can do that to anybody. Now, of course, Andre Ward, I believe he won both fights. You know what I'm saying? I thought he edged it out, especially down the stretch in the first fight. In the second fight, we already knew. But in the second fight, I thought Kovalev was ahead at the time of the stoppage. So I can't see Yard doing anything that Andre Ward did to get himself out of trouble from a good boxer like Kovalev. I don't know. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, Spino, Pacheco, yeah, they good. They good fighters. Yeah, Herring versus Roach. Yeah, that's gonna be on Veterans Day. They're trying to do that in San Diego or one of the military bases. Yeah, Herring, he should be able to outbox him if he keep his range. I think Virgil T is gonna stop Orozco. He's gonna stop him. That dude Orozco get hit too much, and actually, it's gonna be a similar fight to the Ramirez fight, but I don't think he gonna be touching Virgil Ortiz. I think he might get blown out. Yeah, yeah. I think Roscoe. This might be his last fight. This fight's at 147. You know what I'm saying? I know Roscoe. He had in the past struggled to make weight at 140. You know what I'm saying? A couple of times. So maybe it can help him out with 147. But I think it's still gonna be to his detriment because he's a smaller fighter. Virgil Ortiz is a big, strong kid that's hungry, and watch out, yo. Yeah, but yeah, man. So back to this zone card with Tevin Farmer, man. Like him and Tank, we all know it's a natural fight, man. I would love to see that fight on the East Coast. Um, you know, I think it's a great fight. To honestly, I think Tevin could have some success against Tank, but we'll see. I'm gonna get on that though when I touch on Tank. Tremaine Williams, he fought Yanfidel Vicente on the undercard. Man, that guy can fight, bro. I seen him fight before, just little glimpses of him, but I had a chance to watch this whole fight. Man, he nice. He fight like Tevin Farmer a little bit. I think he sit down his punches more. They similar in style. He good, man. He's a good fight. He's a good fighter. He fights at 122 pounds, so that's another player in that division, along with Danny Roman, Ray Vargas, Emmanuel Navarrete. Who else they got? I think I named them all. Brandon Figueroa. I believe Brigo was campaigning at 122. So that's another name right there. Tremaine Williams, man. He's a good boxer, slick southpaw. He was in the pocket the whole time. But see, guys like that, him and Tevin, they can box. They can beat you all 12 rounds easy if they just box. I don't understand why they come in the pocket and stay there so long. I think it's cool to get in there, get your shots off, trying to get the guy to respect you. But the whole fight, the whole 12 rounds, and you fighting a big puncher. So what you have to prove? You're trying to prove that you can stand there and bang with a banger. I think I don't like that, man. I don't like and that's gonna carry out to my point when I talk about Tank. So another middleweight prospect, Nikhil Bobby, he got tested. He went the whole 6 rounds, so he's 6-0 with 5 KOs. He really didn't look good. I think his his offense was limited. Uh, Christopher Hop, he was his trainer for this fight. This guy kept loading up with the right hand, and that's the only. It seemed like that's the only punch he was trying to land. So he needed to definitely go back to the drawing board because that ain't gonna cut it with any type of contender or French contender. They'll mess around and beat the kid. But you know what I'm saying? It's a learning experience. Austin Williams, hot prospect. He improved to 3-0 with 3 KOs. He landed a body shot knockout. Man, I like him, man. He reminds me of Earl Spence. They got the same type of body, the build, they southpaw, like the shoulders and everything, the way they fight, aggressive. And I I was as soon as I heard that the Spence and Porter fight was gonna be made, I've been telling anybody that listen that Porter need to get this kid in camp. You know what I'm saying, to kind of mimic what Spence gonna do, because I think that's the best guy to have in camp right now. You have a young, strong kid that had a good amateur background. I think he was like #1 in his weight class before he turned pro earlier this year. He's a strong kid, you know what I'm saying? he fights at middleweight because Spence when Spence come in the ring, he gonna be at least 163, 164, maybe bigger. So that's just my opinion. When I break down fights, I like to see who you sparred and whatever. You got top notch sparring. So I think Austin Emma Williams is a great look for a sparring partner for Sean Porter for the Spence camp. But they do what they gotta do. So that's it for that card though. I want to jump on to Tank's card. So I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing to really say about Tank's performance. I mean, ever since that performance against Fonseca on the Mayweather McGregor undercard, man, Tank been sharp. Like he been. Now I know the opponents hasn't been whatever and whatever. You can have your own judgment on that, but the sharpness of him, you can't deny it. Let me look in the chat real quick. What's up, Trey X? Good, man. Okay. Tank Sparks up 10 now Red is king at 122. I don't know. I think Vargas is the best fighter at 122. Bobby is overrated. Ammo, yeah, he is the truth. Sean Porter needs to hire Alice Roach. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good look too. Yeah. It all depends, man. Everybody do their camp differently. I mean, I see it's interesting too with how they do the sparring. Like listen to Deontay's coach. He was like they spar like 1 week on, 1 week off, and they bring in a whole new group of fighters for that sparring session, which you have to with him. Like you can't be in the camp with this dude Deontay Wilder hitting like that. Like even in 20 ounce or 16 ounce, whatever they have, you still gonna feel it. So I feel that you gotta rotate these guys out 3 at a time. And I think if I remember right, he take he like 1 week he's sparring, then next week he take off, then next week he's sparring, then next week he take off and do like strength and condition and boxing drills. So then you have other guys, they just bring like AJ, he bring in no, excuse me, not AJ, Vladimir, he used to bring in just a bunch of heavyweights. Not even particular to that style that he's fighting. He just bring in southpaws, righties, big guys, short guys, everybody be in camp with Vladimir. There's some guys they spar with guys like like Dan Garcia. He have guys that's journeymen, 15 like 500 records, sub 500 records. He find guys with like less than 10 fights. He's sparring guys with less than 10 fights. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence, his last training camp. This dude he had Thomas Hill, basically about to be a journeyman. He like 9-2. He just lost to Antonio Tarver's son. And then he had another guy, I forgot his name, but he lost to the guy Blair Cobbs, the guy the guy on Golden Boy with the funny looking hair. And he be trying to be like Ric Flair and shit. So and that's not top notch sparring, you know what I'm saying? That's who he had to count for Mikey. So it all, you know what I'm saying, it's however the coach and the team run their camp. But we just speculate as fans what they should do, but you know what I'm saying, they do what they want. Who would you say are the current top 3 trainers? I think Robert Garcia. Um, let me see. Robert Garcia. I like Shane McGuigan from the UK. He trains Josh Taylor and Luke Campbell. I like him. I like Bomac. So those 3. Those my 3. Yeah, Black Cobbs, yeah, funny dude, man. Calvin Ford. Who else Calvin Ford got though? Help me out with that. Who else he training? That's you know what I'm saying? Buddy McGirt, he's a good coach. But who else they training though? You know what I'm saying? Who else they like? Reason why I'm gonna always have Robert Garcia #1 because to me, he does it in all 3 phases. He can take you from ground up, he can revitalize your career, or he working with these young prospects. You know what I'm saying? And as an example, he revitalized Madonna's career. Madonna was trying to retire. You know what I'm saying? 2013, 2012, he was about to retire. He turned down the Keith Thurman fight. He had just lost to Devin Alexander, and he took him and parlayed his skills and his, what he brought to the table as a trainer. Two fights with Floyd. Well, one fight with AB and two fights with Floyd. So there you go. And he revitalized Anna Marvez's career after getting stopped in one round to come back and win the world title, whatever. So that's one part of it. Second part, he took Mikey from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? You can't argue with that. He took Mikey from the ground up. I know that's his brother, whatever. Mikey didn't even really want to fight. You know what I'm saying? So he took him from the ground up, and then he got all these young prospects in his gym. Young prospects. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always put him. Calvin Ford, I think he's a good coach for Tank because he been with Tank for the longest, and that's a father figure, and that's gonna be hard to get rid of. So yeah, he's a good coach for him. But I like to see him bring another guy along. Another guy along. You know what I'm saying? Um, Shane McGuigan, like I like him as a coach. Now he might not be the best, but I like him as a coach. He have guys in his camp that fit his style of fighting. You know what I'm saying? So like he got tall guys in his camp. You know what I'm saying? He got Josh Taylor and Campbell. So these guys are similar fighters, and he can get them to perform the way he wants to in camp. That's his style of fighter. So it's all about who you like, man. I'm not saying none of these other coaches are bad, but I can't put nobody above Robert Garcia if they don't do the three phases like that. The three phases. Like Bomac took Jamel. They threw Jamel Herring all the PBC. He's a PBC reject, and what he do? Revitalize his career. And I think I read that Rob Brett this guy with Bomac. So I want to see how it transitions. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. Everybody got different stuff though. Lorenzo Simpson. You know what I'm saying? But he's just a prospect. Like time will tell. Like it's cool. I mean, like you really can't tell with Calvin Ford. With these guys that's only got one fighter, you really can't tell. I like to see. I had that same thought with Bomac because all you see is him with Terrence Crawford, and that proves that he is a good trainer because you have a guy with all these skills and this talent that can be able to sit down and listen to you, and you've been with him from the jump though. So he implemented some type of good stuff into Bud, but for him to take Jamel Herring and get him to where he at, like Jamel Herring, real talk, he was about to be a about to be a friend. Well, before he won a title, he was like a French contender, but he was about to be a journeyman status. If he lost one more fight, brought him to top rank, put him in a good system, and now he's a world champion. Like I would love to see Calvin Ford do that. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of good coaches out there. Kevin Cunningham is a good coach. Andre Rozier. I think Derek James is a good coach because it's not just. I mean, even though he just got one main fighter, but I like how they like what they say in the corner. Like it's not just if they got different fighters or whatever. You can still be a top coach with a couple of fighters, but the instructions in the in between the rounds and what they be saying, his shit be making sense. Andre Rozier, man, he be telling Danny all the right shit, and Danny get out there and do the opposite. Like, I mean, that could be a catch-22. You can't get to your fighter, or your fighter's just hard-headed. I don't know. They in that fight, but that's my take, man. That trainer shit is all subjective, just like anything in boxing. Coach K is a good coach. Coach K he's a good coach. Ray Running Shields is a good coach too. I like Coach K. Yeah, he taking them young fighters. Robert Garcia he was very technical. Yep. Very technical. Everything straight up the middle. Good jab. You know what I'm saying? He was giving motherfuckers hell, man. Robert Garcia was nice. Oh man, got like 3 other dudes training for him. Yeah. But who cares? But okay. I hear you on that. But if something go wrong, who they gonna blame? They're not gonna y'all don't even know what's the other 2 coaches' names? Yeah, put it in the chat real quick. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even know their names. Most people don't even know the other two coaches' name, Greg Spikes and Ismail Viegas, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So if some mess up, they're gonna blame Bomac. It's Bomac. Bomac is on the interviews talking the trash and doing this and doing that. And the other coach may be putting in more work than Bomac. We don't know. But if something go wrong, who y'all gonna blame? Bomac. You're not gonna blame Red Spikes. You're not gonna blame him. I like Mayweather Senior and Freddie Joe Coach Roach. I like Freddie Roach. I like Freddie. Freddie Roach is a good coach. I think he got to have the style of fighter though. Like I don't think he can train any type of fighter. To me, I think he need an aggressive type fighter. If a guy want to box and they go to Freddie Roach, they end up getting beat up. Uh, Mayweather Senior. I don't know. I think he's a good coach. He a good teacher, but I think in the corner, I don't think he's a good corner man. I think he's a good coach, like trainer and teacher and all that, mentor and all that good stuff. But I think like in the corner, like with Floyd, like you can't. I bypass that. I think about the other. I think he did good with Oscar De La Hoya though. But I think of late, maybe it's the age or whatever. I don't think he's a good corner man to me. But he is a good coach. You know what I'm saying? He trained the hell out you. Herring versus Burchett need to happen. Now Burchett probably fight Oscar Valdez. Herring gonna fight Roach. But yeah, down the line, K Diddy. That's another one, man. Like I think he's good for his son. But look, think about it though. How good of a coach is he really to other people? Because he trained what's the heavyweight name? Leroy Thomas took him over to the UK and got beat the hell up by Joe Joyce. No head movement, no nothing. He just went straight at him, got beat up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What is he really teaching? I mean, of course you know what I'm saying, go all out for your son. But what about the other fighters? Ramirez is much better under Robert Garcia than Roach. Yeah, I think I think it's because them guys is more. They have a better kinship, I guess. They got a better relationship outside, you know. And I think part of it is with Freddie Roach because Freddie Roach has a lot of fighters, but I think Freddie Roach, the part of his health, like these coaches, man, they've been in the game, they've been fighters, and they've been in the game for a long time, man, and it's hard. Excuse me, it's hard on them to what I'm saying, stay active with their top guy. I guess I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating, but I don't know. But all that stuff is subjective, though. Um, yeah, with Tank though, man, like the performance, man, it ain't nothing too much to talk about. Um, I want to touch on Tank versus Tevin because reason why I'm not really giving Tevin much of a chance, man. I'm just gonna be 100 unless he gonna box something crazy like he ain't never did before. If he continue to fight like he been fighting, standing in that pocket, he gonna get stopped. It might be early because Tank, he's a big puncher, and I believe you have to believe the hype, bro. Don't just go like this guy the other day. He over there shaking his head, looking at the crowd, and here come Tank with this big overhand left hand and got the ball rolling and stopped him. Like, don't let him touch you. Like that's just my thing. And if he touch you, make sure he is like grazing shots or it's shots that you know it's coming and you can defend them and you can bounce off of it. This gonna prove how tough of a chin Tevin has. I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Tevin because Tank just as fast, just as well probably bump that. Tank is faster, got better skills, and you can arguably say he got better defense than him. You know what I'm saying? And Tank, the way he places his shot, it's like 100. You know, I think Tank was starting in that fight Saturday. He was starting to break the guy down because he was going to the body. I don't know how many straight jab to the body he threw. He wasn't even trying to hit him in the face or in the head. He was jabbing to the body, so he was already setting that stuff up. And he's a big puncher. And I just see Tevin just stand too long in the pocket and allow Tank to hit him with some free shots. You don't want to do that with him because he is a big puncher. So I just think it's gonna be a tough fight for Tevin. You know what I'm saying? Um, especially if he trying to rumble with Tank in the exchanges, because I think Tank is quicker than him. I think he can be quicker to the draw than him. He gonna mess around and get him hurt and eventually stop him. Another thing I look for too, when Tevin be in his defensive mindset and he be ducking down and stuff, getting away from punches. That's dangerous with a big puncher because you get hit in the back of your ear or back of your head while you ducking down. You don't see that thing coming. It's gonna throw off your equilibrium, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Your whole you gonna be dizzy, and you ain't gonna be able to recover from that. And that's the type of stuff you don't want to get hit with a big puncher like that. That's why I was saying, like when I was breaking down Wilder versus Fury, I always noticed that Fury, when he's doing in his defensive rhythm, he ducked down to his right and he's not looking. He don't know what's coming. He don't know what's coming. He was doing it. He did it against Klitschko. Klitschko can pull the trigger. He do it against everybody. And I always said, if a big puncher hits you back there, above the ear, behind the head, on top of that area, it's a wrap for you. And you see what happened in the ninth round when he dropped him like that. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I think the build up gonna be fun. The promotion gonna be fun. They put that thing on the East Coast. I think you know what I'm saying? Style wise, I said before, I think it's gonna be something like Zab and Chop Chop. Um, just a style wise. But until it started getting into the flow of the fight, once Tank started touching Tevin, I don't think he'll be able to stand up to that shit. And then if he can, and he can weather the storm and kind of, I can't even see him outboxing Tank. Because I think his pedigree gonna stand out that fight, and he gonna be able to put him. Man, I think it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be good, a good fight, good build up and everything. But I don't think it's gonna be competitive. I may be missing something, but I don't think it's gonna be competitive. Um, I like okay, Mayweather Cena, but Mayweather, yeah, y'all got that one. I love to see Papachenko train a young American fighter to see. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Am I on Mars, bro? I want to see, I want to see Tevin and Tank, but I hope it ain't on pay per view. I mean, I'm cool with it being on pay per view if they got a bum ass undercard. Like, um, they can put J Rock and Hurd on there, part two, and then I don't know what else, but they can stack it. They got enough fighters that they can stack the undercard. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, if they put Hurd and J Rock and Hurd on the undercard, then that I think that'd be worth it in itself because that was a good ass fight. Even though I thought J Rock dominated and he was doing that old school shit, man. I love that fight, man. That fight, the way he was manipulating Hurd's ass in the inside, putting his head on each shoulder and just moving and knocking down his jab hand and coming over shooting the right hand around the guard. That shit was crazy. I love that fight. I like to see stuff like that, man. When these young guys taking the craft seriously and actually, you know, doing what taking what the old school brought to the table and put into their game because that shit worked. You know what I'm saying? It still worked. You know what I'm saying? He beat up Hurd. Yeah, Philly versus DC card. Yeah, that'd be straight. I don't know if they can do a whole card like that, but at least the top two. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. There's a lot of stuff, man, going on though. I thought Gamboa done turned back the clock. You know what I'm saying? He looked good. That's the best he looked in some years when he stopped Rocky Martinez. You know, it wasn't really surprising to me because I feel like in their primes, if they would have fought each other, Gamboa and Rocky Martinez, I think it would have been the same result because I think Gamboa is just that much talented, especially in his prime, and he had that power. And I like how he set that thing up. He kind of put him to sleep a little bit before he dropped him. He kind of like he was walking away, then he landed a quick 3 punch combination. Then he hit I think the first one was a big left hook, dropped him, and then I didn't even see the first knockdown. I had to because that stuff happened so fast. I was like, damn. And then I seen the replay. He set him up, and then he got him up out of there. So I mean, Gamboa, supposed to fight Tank at 130 if Tevin don't happen. I mean, that's not a fight I really want to see. Name recognition, it might look good down the road. Like you know how people like to look at resumes, and sometimes they'll forget the mindset. What the stage of the fighter was in at that time. They didn't see the name on the resume. But I heard Robert Garcia saying he want Mikey to fight Gamboa at 140. Hey, yeah, that is 5 years too late. Yeah, it is. But hey, anything can happen, man. You never know what Mikey gonna do. I think Mikey was kind of hoping that Hooker won, so he can sign that the zone deal and get Hooker, but at 140, but it ain't work out. He in a no man's land. Cause I don't think, to be honest, I don't think at the top at 147 he don't got no smoke at 147 with top guys. And Mikey, my guy, man. I want him back at 135. To be honest, I want to fight Lomachenko, but 140, it's some smoke there. But he gonna have to wait till it clear. You gotta wait till it clear. But he can go back and have some good fights. There's some good little fights over there. Mikey versus Ramirez at 140. It would be a good fight if them guys wasn't in the same camp, same stable. But you never know, man. Boxing is crazy, man. It's shit unpredictable. But yeah, man. So let me see what other fight was on that card. What's his name? Memphis Miller fought Corrales. Man, that fight was making me mad, yo, because I thought both guys could have did more. I thought Corrales won that fight though, but I think them guys was both of them was throwing their punches short. It was kind of an ugly affair. Neither guy was accurate. There wasn't much going on. Um, Corrales reminds me of Fortuna. You know what I'm saying? I would hate to see them fight. Oh my God. You talking about clinching, holding, dirty tactics. There's two awkward southpaws fighting. That'd be crazy. Corrales versus Gamboa. I mean, Fortuna. But I think they try to put Memphis Miller in position to fight for one of them off-brand WBA titles, or they might have him fight in a title eliminator with Fortuna. I don't wait to see these rankings come out because Fortuna was supposed to fight Teofimo Lopez in the WBC title eliminator little tournament. So Devin Haney is going to fight the Russian guy, Zur Abdullayev. So that fight is going to happen September 14th. And then on the other end, it's supposed to be Teofimo versus Fortuna. And that fight would have been tricky for Teofimo, but Teofimo chose to go the IBF route. He beat Nakatani. Now he's a mandatory for Comey, and that fight going to happen later on this year. So Fortuna is basically left without a dancing partner after the WBC ordered him to fight eliminator. So don't be surprised, yo, if you see Memphis Miller fighting in the title eliminator versus Fortuna. You know what I'm saying? The winner fight Devin Haney, or the winner fight the winner between Devin Haney and the Russian guy. So boxing, man, the politics is crazy. That's why I try to pay attention to it, because it'd be funny because they'd be like, title eliminator. I'm like, title eliminator? This dude not even ranked in WBC. Because at first they was gonna have him fight Fortuna. Memphis Miller was supposed to fight Fortuna on Tank's card. But I guess the WBC was like, oh hell no, you're not even ranked. So don't be surprised if he get a high ranking in the WBC or the WBA, because Rances and Issa just fought for the vacant regular title. I don't know if we call that fighting, but they was in the ring for the WBA regular title. Now that stuff's still vacant. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just putting two and two together. Tank got the WBA. The way he got the WBA was fraudulent. So don't be surprised if Memphis Miller fights somebody for one of the regular platinum titles. I don't know. That's just me. No more Corrales, Fortuna, or Barthélemy. Memphis Miller might fight Barthélemy for that jump. While you talking, the Caribbean fighters are too defensive and dirty as hell. Yeah. Robinski Ramirez would be a game changer for Cuban fighters. His style is very aggressive and similar to Loma. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him fight. He fighting 2 weeks from now on Carl Frampton's undercard. I want to see him. I want to see him fight. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man, it was a fun little weekend this weekend. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and break down the fight cards this week. I mean, it's not really not too much. I know you have a couple of cards on UFC Fight Pass. I'm gonna touch on them on the first and the second. I'm going to Vegas to the female it's a female world championship fight. I'm going there to watch the fight. So I'm gonna support the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Um Ava Wallstrom versus Veronica Jeffrey. Uh Wallstrom fought Katie Taylor last December and she got she got beat up. But she still kept her title at 130, so we'll see. And I think the winner of that fight gonna get Mikaela Mayer. So I'm gonna be in the building. I'm gonna watch that, man. Trying to get my you know what I'm saying, go to as many fights as I can, permitting my schedule. So I'll be there. You got Kanaki versus Areola, which is a man. That's like you guarantee action. Like I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I go ahead and eat and whatever, get all my drinks and my my chips and my snacks ready because I know I can't leave the TV watching that. I know them guys gonna bang. Marcus Brown versus John Pascal on that card. Andre Berto coming off a year layoff. He's fighting Miguel Cruz. I think that's a title eliminator. I want to say. I don't know. Not sure. And then the most interesting fight on that card, though, I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow, but I just want to point it out. If you guys rock with me tomorrow, is Curtis Stevens versus Wally Amasto, something like that. The guy from Africa, the boy from Africa. But yeah, so what's interesting about this fight, man, is Wale. He been in there with Jesse Vargas and a bunch of top contenders, and he's tough, never been stopped. Um, and this fight is at 154, and Curtis Stevens is dropping down to 154, and he a big ass puncher in all the weight classes. He started at 175 when he was with the Chin Checkers back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of New York in the amateurs. So he started at 75, came down to 68. Then he fought Triple G. We all know about that. We got stopped by Triple G in the Mew at 160, and he lost to Endom. Now he dropped down to 154, and he's a big puncher. And I know he's like 33, 34, and we all know in boxing the saying, the last thing that goes is the power. So I'm interested to see this fight, man. Man, I'm gonna break it down tomorrow though, or these coming days. Talk about this stuff, man. So that's what I like to do on this card. I mean, on my channel, whatever. I'm gonna break down the fights, talk about the card, talk about what's next, what I think going to happen. Just give an educated guess, nothing cemented, but just talk about the sport, man. That's what I like to do. So I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Marlo's Corner, Maceo Mexicano. Appreciate you, bro. Trey X, St. Cruz, and thanks for stopping by, man. Who else was up in here? Yeah, I think that was. Let me see. Scroll back up. Well, shout everybody out. Sean Icon, thanks, man. Thanks you guys for stopping by, checking me out, man. And I'll be back with another one tomorrow. So y'all have a good one.